Hi everyone! For the past month or so, there's been some chatter about Jagex potentially releasing RuneScape 4, along with leaked footage of some animations that's been thrown around as evidence of the game's next installation. Unfortunately, this is not RuneScape 4. In fact, this is not even for RuneScape 3, but I do know what the footage is, and I'm gonna tell you. But first, I want to give a shout out to today's video sponsor, Opera GX. Opera GX is a browser specifically built for gamers. Maybe you're kinda like me who used to have multiple tabs open with the RS Wiki, YouTube, Twitter, Discord while Spotify plays in the background and RuneScape's running on max capacity. It's a lot to handle for your very fragile computer. Opera GX makes all of that super simple by smacking all of your apps inside the browser, creating a hub for everything you need for your online presence in the sidebar. Want to follow your favorite Twitch streamers and get notifications when they go live? No problem. Chatting with your Discord buddies? Easy. And if you're using other chatting apps, they're also available directly in the browser. Messaging apps like Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook Messenger. There's also a tool for your music, with the GX player, where you can use the players you like, either it be Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, or YouTube Music. The great part is that the music auto-pauses whenever audio plays elsewhere, like on a video or a live stream. And of course, it's all customizable, and it's entirely up to you what you want to show or not show on the sidebar. Moving from a different browser is a big step and can feel a little overwhelming. But the team behind this browser thought of that too, by adding a quick import tool to easily transfer all your browsing history, cookies, and bookmarks from a different browser to this one. It even allows for Google Chrome extensions to be added, which means you won't have to let go from the add-ons you're used to, making Opera GX feel like home from the very start. And for those of you playing on your phone, there's also Opera GX on mobile. You can download the browser via the link in the description. Thanks for sponsoring the video, Opera. Alright, so, our most prolific internet archaeologist for RuneScape information, GagaLady, runs a Twitter profile under the name RS Unreleased, uploading a large variety of information found in documents publicly available on the internet. What he finds is really interesting information, showing some of the many projects Jagex have been working on that never saw the light of day. Some are found in Chinese PDF documents from Jagex's investors, but also from the online showreels from some of Jagex's past and current employees. This was very much the case in October of 2021, when he uploaded a video from a Jagex employee showing effects and animations related to combat, spells, and so on. Most of the models in the video are recognized as RuneScape characters, with the exception of one, being a rather well-known test character called the Kuneo Animation Rig, normally used when you need a generic model to work with to test different animations. In the tweet, he plays with the idea that this might have been work made for a new version of RuneScape, which fueled the player's desire for an improved version of the game. Content developer for RuneScape Mod Orion quickly commented on the connected Reddit thread that this was simply research and development, as proved with the test models used for the animations. But that wasn't really enough to calm the masses, and word started to spread about Jagex taking steps towards upgrading the current game. It's not that simple, however. The original video was uploaded on the 4th of July in 2021, on both Vimeo as well as the uploader's personal website. The title would suggest this is a VFX showreel of their work while at Jagex, which is supported by the fact that the same person is currently hired as a senior visual effects artist for the main game. The title on the other video, which is slightly different, says this is VFX prototype work for RuneScape Aftermath at Jagex. This is where things are getting a little interesting. Some of these upgraded effects and animations are outside of RuneScape's technical limitations, which have been the underlying reason why the community have come to believe this is RuneScape 4, in addition to some theories that it was made for RuneScape Aftermath, the project name for an undisclosed project at Jagex. But I don't believe that's the case, and I'll explain why. One point is that the artist was, some months after uploading the showreel, promoted to senior visual effects artist at Jagex. As you might know, Jagex is very secretive when it comes to their work, where the employees work under a strict non-disclosure agreement. Releasing anything that's currently in the works would without a doubt be grounds for termination and not promotion. In the videos, we see a variety of graphically updated attacks, some not currently known in-game, performed by characters like Merethiel or the Crasian Leviathan, whose animations are already used in the game. As mentioned, these are displayed in a showreel from the artist's work during her time at Jagex, and on her LinkedIn, she clearly states that when she first joined the company, she made some prototype VFX for RuneScape using Unreal Engine 4. I wonder where I've heard that before. The prototypes were made to convince the art team that visual effects are very important, and supposedly succeeded at that. Also note that all the models she used in the video were some of the most recent high-quality models RuneScape had at the time of making the prototypes, all suggesting the effects we see the RuneScape characters perform was simply a test made in 2019. Research, and not made with the intention of releasing it in the future. However, this doesn't cover everything, and that's where the rabbit hole begins. You see, though some of the animations in the showreel are things we've already seen, that doesn't cover everything in the video. For example, the attack by Pestilence we can see here hasn't been used anywhere. Even the model is a stripped-down version we've not seen before. There's also these backgrounds using a graphical style we've not seen in any released games from Jagex. But what really starts connecting some dots is the Koneo animation rig, where the character is performing an animation that was also used in a showcase video from an animation company called Super Spline Studios. Their video was even uploaded at an earlier date. What's very interesting to note is that the end of the video shows a very high-quality animation by a character that looks like a graphically updated version of the Bando's armor, swinging his weapon in a way that would not be possible within RuneScape's technical limitations the way we know it. Better yet, the studio is even collaborating with Jagex on an unannounced project. The Koneo rig is however slightly different in the video by the Jagex employee. You might have noticed it. The effects added around the rig are not used in the showreel by the animation studio. There's also this image from the portfolio page belonging to the VFX artist, with a silhouette looking very similar to the Bando's looking armor in Super Spline's video. So I believe Aftermath is literally what it says. Effects added to animations Jagex received from a third-party studio. Aftermath work done at Jagex. But the obvious question is then, why is this VFX artist working together with a third-party company on something that is clearly outside of RuneScape's limits? Well, as mentioned, this is a showcase of the technical skills from the employee's time at Jagex, uploaded just a couple months after she ended her position on an unknown RPG project. An RPG project using the RuneScape IP, made for PC and console. What we're left with is a third-party company creating animations for an unannounced RuneScape-related game, clearly not made for the main game due to the smooth animations going outside the standard boxes of the main game, and a few clips from an unknown game we know the VFX artist worked on. So I believe, knowing Jagex wouldn't allow their employees to release footage from active work, that these effects were made for a RuneScape-themed, now cancelled, unannounced RPG. What we're looking at is therefore not assets made for RuneScape Aftermath or RuneScape 4, but one of the most mysterious, yet most talked about games Jagex never released. NextGen. That's right. For those of you who caught a glimpse of the NextGen logo back in 2017 might remember the hype that followed when community manager Mod Shawnee was sure he'd lose his job over accidentally showing the presentation slide in a RuneScape livestream. But to fully understand why we know it's NextGen, I gotta do a Vsauce and talk about something that seems completely out of place. For that, we're going all the way back to April 2016.
为以游戏研发和运营为主的文化传媒公司，旗下核心资产为英国游戏公司 Jagex。
The long-term investors IVP just sold their shares in Jagex to the Chinese overlords at Shandong Hongda for $300 million. Gaming is massive in China, with large MMOs and mobile phone games coming out faster than RS3's MTX promotions. The investors appoint a good group of people to the board of directors, and before you know it, there are multiple games in development feeding off the RuneScape brand. They were quick to announce several games very early in the planning stage. In July of 2016, Jagex had a presentation at China Joy Expo in Shanghai, announcing two upcoming games, being the RuneScape RPG Battler for 2017 and RuneScape Remastered in 2018. Some of the games they made were available to be tested at ChinaJoy already the year after, in 2017, being RuneScape Heroes, a card sandbox RPG mobile game, likely being their RPG battler announced the year before, RuneScape Chronicle, a new version of the cancelled 2015 edition, as well as Dawnfire, a VR first-person shooter which was later that year likely renamed to Shield of Dawn. They even sold body pillows of Ariane and Princess Astrid. If someone got one of those, please reach out. A friend of mine is really interested in buying one. Other unannounced titles scheduled to be released in 2018 were written about within publicly available PDF files released by the investors, being RuneScape Dungeon and RuneScape Dissidia. Aurora was also a game cancelled sometime in late 2017 or early 2018, a game we only know about because the lead artist of the game uploaded footage of it to YouTube. A Reddit comment by Mod Meadows confirmed the footage was only early prototypes for potential unspecified projects. There were clearly a lot of RuneScape-related games being worked on behind the scenes that Jagex weren't going public about this early in the development process. But in May of 2017, the most mysterious one would enter into the eye of the community.
Take care and have a good one. Bye. Oh, wait. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Why was that a preset?
Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh my god. 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 I'm about to lose my job. I'm about to lose my job.
The incident went viral across the RuneScape community. Re-uploads of the clip showing Shawnee's distress and Reddit threads defending him for the mistake were made, amassing hundreds of comments combined. Mod Balance stepped in to calm the crowd, explaining accidents happen, and that what the players had seen was an otherwise undisclosed project at Jagex. For the most part, that was it for NextGen. For the next few years, it just floated around as this thing that we had heard of but never saw anything to. But things were happening behind the scenes. There were rumors a large team was working on a new RuneScape title taking place 10,000 years in the future, with WASD movement, and would be in the category similar to games like Skyrim. The size of the team is a little uncertain, some sources saying it was almost the entire third floor of Jagex's 3-story building, others saying it was a corner of the first floor. What we do know is that content developer Mod Ollie and later Mod Deg were moved from RuneScape to a secret project separated from the RuneScape teams around the same time, later revealed to be the NextGen project. Following their LinkedIn pages, NextGen was a shared world action RPG set in the world of RuneScape, just like what the VFX artist was working on, which would fit to the style of what game Skyrim is, but with the option to play with a small group of other players. Knowing this, we can also trail backwards to other members of the NextGen team, being people who also worked in an unannounced action RPG during the same period of time. Here we find executive producer Nathan Richardson and the creative director Gavin Irby, who despite his role of working on an unannounced online action role-playing game, stated he was happy to help bring RuneScape to a new audience. With the investors' clear interest in expanding the available games carrying the RuneScape brand, NextGen was likely just another, though large, project within Jagex, which survived for a long time. An action RPG you could play with friends, designed for PC and console with modern graphics. Continuing on that was a domino effect of employees working on the action RPG, either leaving the company or moving departments around the same time. Mod Ollie left Jagex in December of 2020, whilst Mod Deg was moved over to a new unannounced game that Jagex are still working on and hiring for. The executive producer Nathan Richardson moved to publishing, whilst creative director Gavin Irby left for the not at all controversial gaming company Blizzard in August of 2021. The VFX artist who uploaded the videos of NextGen moved to the RuneScape team in May of 2021, stating the previous team dropped, suggesting NextGen was likely cancelled in late 2020 or early 2021. Not many months after the Chinese investors, with their goal to make more RuneScape-branded games, sold Jagex to MacArthur Fortune Holding. Another point that supports the claim that NextGen is cancelled is the comment by Mod Meadows from when the Aurora game was uploaded to YouTube, being what I mentioned earlier, that artists may upload their work when it's no longer being worked on by any development team. Seeing Mod Shawnee's reaction back in 2017, thinking he was gonna get fired when he accidentally showed a presentation slide with a placeholder name and logo, I'm really doubting any active employee would release in-the-works animations for an upcoming game or update. As disappointing as this is, it does prove, as far as we know, there's no active development at Jagex for anything that can be called RuneScape 4 today. It is known they are currently working on a separate MMO, next to the game mod Deg is working on, but very little is known about it. The executive producer of the unannounced MMO writes about the game as a next-gen AAA MMORPG using Unreal Engine, adding that it's still early in its development. An earlier intern writes about some of the mechanics the game will hold, where one of the features is unknown to the current main game. Chances are these games might be RuneScape themed though, as Jagex continues to release RS-inspired games such as the recent Melvor Idol, but there's nothing to suggest this is an overhaul of RuneScape 3. Thank you so much for watching this look into Jagex's history of RuneScape spin-offs. Consider leaving a like if you enjoyed it. Every time I get a new like, I pat myself on the back, which feels validating. My name is Will Missit, and I'll see you all